Hey everybody, so I'm coming at you with a new video this week, and today we're going to do a Valentine's themed look. I am excited about it. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started with our eyes, because you know I love to do my eyes first. And I was thinking about doing like a hot pink eyeshadow with a red lip and thinking that would be gorgeous, but today I'm not really feeling that vibe. So we're going to do something different, and that's okay. I'm just taking a large fluffy brush and taking the Profusion eye base, pigment eye base in white, and I am applying that all over my eyelid. And because we haven't done our base makeup yet, it doesn't matter if you're super neat with it, because the most it's going to do is lighten up the areas that we're then going to put foundation and concealer on. It's really not going to make that big a difference underneath your other face makeup. I'm just adding a little bit more to my hand and then applying that directly to my eye with the brush. And going all the way from my lash line all the way up to my brow bone, all the way in the inner corner, and all the way on the outer corner. And then just making sure that's blended in really well. And that's what you should be looking at. Kind of like a reverse raccoon, honestly. Next, we're going to take the original Urban Decay Naked palette, and we're going to take the shade Virgin, which is kind of a light champagne shimmery shade. And I am going to apply that directly beneath my brow bone. Now, normally I don't like doing that with a shimmery eyeshadow, but I am only using this palette today. And you can use whatever palette you have, whatever palette you like. It does not matter. It does not have to be this one, just because we're just doing a neutral eyeshadow look. So whatever your favorite neutral palette is, this is just the one I picked out today out of my stash. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Naked. That's what that looks like. And we're going to put that in our crease. I'm going to use a slightly angled fluffy brush for this. And I'm just going to apply that right in the crease, blending it up to meet that Virgin shade. And if you want to see a brighter version where I do pink shadow and red lips, let me know in the comments, because I will gladly do that. I just thought today might be a fun day to try out a more neutral look. So, and that's how that should look at this point. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Buck, which is, again, just a slightly deeper shade. And I'm only taking that on the tip of that angled brush, if you can see that. And I'm just going to apply that right in the deepest part of my crease and gently buff it upwards. To meet the Naked shade. And again, just do that same thing on the other side. And that's all of our matte shades. Those two shades are the only completely mattes in this palette. Not a huge fan of that, but I'm going to take the shade Hustle, which is a metallic-y brown kind of shade, and I'm just gonna, again, deepen that crease up as much as possible. Tapping off the excess. When you apply a shimmer shade like this, it does behave more like a matte, but I wish there was more matte shades in this palette. Okay, so pretty simple, pretty, fine as far as that goes. I'm going to take the shade Half Baked, which is the gold shade in this palette, and I am going to put that all over my eyelid. Just like that. And if you wanted a more light kind of shade, I would go with Sin, which is the shade right next to Virgin. That is a gorgeous, bridal-y kind of shade. That's what that looks like on. And I might tap a little bit of that on in the center of the lid, just to help brighten that Half-Baked shade up a little. Just apply it over top. Like that. And then that's what we're left with so far. Now I'm going to take a flat kind of liner brush. Yeah, we're going to take this one. And I'm going to take a flat kind of liner brush and go into the black shade, which is called Creep. And again, it's a shimmer, but I'm just going to take that black and I'm going to stamp it kind of along the lash line and smoke it out ever so slightly to get a really soft kind of line there. And then also kind of wing it out. And this shade has a lot of fallout, as you can see. And I did tap off the excess, believe it or not. So I'm going to go in with some setting spray, spray my brush, just so I can kind of clean that up a little. Again, spray my brush, grab a little of this, and apply it right along the lash line. And then wing it out. And then, because we got it a little everywhere, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to take just a cloth and sharpen up. I'm going to spray it with a little setting spray, dampen it, and just clean up that line a little. There we go. And see, that's why we do our eyes first, because then you can clean it up and it looks gorgeous. A little bit of a water break. Now we're going to go in with our foundation because I've already primed my skin. I am going to mix the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation in the shade Snow. I'm just going to mix it on the back of my hand with a little bit of the Misha BB cream in the shade 13. I'm going to do 2 pumps of the Misha and 1 pump of the L'Oreal. And then I'm just going to take the back of my brush and kind of mix them together a little bit. And then wipe off what's added to my brush and then stamp it in. Like that, get it all up in the bristles, and then start applying to my face. The reason I mix the Misha in with the L'Oreal is because the Misha is super, super pigmented, but the L'Oreal is a little bit too yellow for my skin, and the Misha is a little bit too gray. So mixing them together, it gets almost my exact shade. And I like the finish of the Misha BB cream, and I love the finish of the L'Oreal. So I love them separately and I love them together because it gives me just a really gorgeous look. And it doesn't look too heavy on the skin either, which I love. And I'm just kind of stippling now. I'm also going to take just a regular beauty sponge and just kind of smooth out anywhere there's any little lines or anything. I'm also going to apply just a little bit of product so that it doesn't lift anything underneath. And the good thing about wearing a turtleneck is you only have to do it to like here, because nobody's going to see any lower than that. Alright. So, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my concealer. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer 16-hour wear in the shade Fair Beige. And I know some people are going to come for me being like, that's too much concealer. This is what I like to use. If you think this is too much concealer for you, don't use this much. This is just what I like to do for myself. And a lot of people don't need this much concealer. But I also don't have a color corrector right now. So this is what I do to help with the discoloration under my eyes. And I use this much concealer because it takes this much to make sure that the darkness and all doesn't come through. So do with that information as you will. Also, I just like a full glam look, so I tend to do more concealer than strictly necessary. And I'm just taking that same foundation sponge and then, or same foundation brush and then the sponge, again, just to blend out those any harsh edges that come about. And sometimes fingers when needed, because sometimes getting right up in here in this inner corner can be a pain. All right. So this is what we're looking like so far. Gorgeous in my opinion. We're going to go ahead and set our face. And I'm just going to use a little bit of the Revolution Translucent Baking Powder. And I'm just going to take a little bit on a big fluffy brush and blow off the tap off, blow off whatever the excess. Because I don't bake. Baking's never worked for me. It always enhances texture and craziness, so I just lightly set my face. And that's what tends to work for me. Now, I am going to take my Hoola Benefit Bronzer and I'm just going to apply a little bit of this right around the outside of my cheekbones. Not underneath my cheekbones, on top of my cheekbones, because that's where the sun is going to hit you. That's where bronzer should go. Bronzer is not a contour, so it should go on top of your cheekbones, not underneath. Warm shades like this are bronzers. Cool shades that look more gray are contours. That's what goes underneath. That's what creates shadow. I'm not trying to create shadows right now. I'm just trying to give my skin a little color. I do always bring it like at my jaw because my jaw is a little protruding, so I do get color there. Oh. Yeah, try not to hit your earrings so that, you know, if you're wearing big ones like me anyway, because that hurts. All right. Next up, we're going to do blush, and we're going to put it right there where we put the bronzer almost. And this is just the Revlon blush in Mauvelous. And we're just going to apply a little bit. I know that doesn't look like a little bit. That brush picked up a lot more than I was expecting, so take your powder brush and blend, blend, blend. There you go. Now, we're going to do lashes and eyebrows, and then we're going to do lips. So, we're going to curl our eyelashes. There we go. And I'm going to use the number 7 Full 360 Ultra. I would not recommend this if you know you're going to be crying. Today I am not going anywhere. I am just playing with makeup, so I know I'm just going to wash this right off. So just apply your mascara, however it is you apply that. That is completely up to you. That is a completely personal preference, and that wasn't dry, and I just smudged mascara under my eye. I'm going to teach you how to fix it. So you see that smudge right there? We're going to take a little bit of our concealer. That wasn't the right one, but that's okay. And I'm just going to take my finger and warm that up and tap, tap, tap. And if you can still see it, add just a little bit more and just gently tap it in. And the reason I say use your finger for this is because if you use a brush or a sponge, it is going to lift whatever you put underneath it. Somehow with a finger, it doesn't do it as badly. So just tap, 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 tap. And if you have to make the other side match, just do a little bit of concealer. Tiny dot, and then just tap, 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 tap. And then that way both sides look the same. You don't look crazy. And then if you need to, go back over with your powder. Perfect. And then if you need to, you can go back over with a little bit of your blush if you took too much of that off. Next up, we're going to do eyebrows, and I am actually going to use this e.l.f. brow palette. And I am actually going to use a brow wax first. And this is the colored wax, the one that you saw the hole in. And I'm just gonna rake that through my brows with a flat liner brush. And then I'm going to go over top of it with a powder. If you wanted a lighter application, you could leave it as is, or if you're like me, you can go over it with a powder to get a little bit more of the definition that you want and a little more color. Or you could just go straight in with the powder. Nobody says you have to do it just like I do. Because makeup is so personal. And that's what I love about it, is you can do with it whatever you want. You can be more creative some days, you can be more, soft other days. It's just whatever mood you're in, your makeup can match that. And I love that. That's so much fun to me because it's really a transformative power. I mean, look at how big my eyes look right now. They don't ever look this big hardly. So next up we're going to do lipstick, and this will be our last step. This is the shade Dancer from the Maybelline Matte Ink collection. And this is a pure red, and I love it. And then I smush it together. Look at that. Look at how glamorous that looks. And then if you've got your hair up, take your hair down. And this is the final Valentine's Day inspired makeup look. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you would change anything. Let me know if you want to see a brighter version where I do pink and red together. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of my beautiful subscribers. You are all amazing. And please continue to watch and we'll grow together. Thank you. Bye.